Morning, everybody. 7:23 in the morning. Just about to hit the road to head down to St. Catharines. Today I'm going to be meeting up with Ash from Guerrilla Miniatures, and we're going to be getting together to play some Mordheim as well as Lord of the Rings, as well as have a sit and talk about the Ontario League that we have here. And who knows, maybe we can get them involved or create more avenues for us as a league in whole. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna do some filming down there. I'll hopefully do a sit and talk sort of with him and ask him some questions, as well as showcase what he has. I know he runs the co-op with a bunch of other people, so maybe he can discuss that with us as well. So stay tuned, stay with us, and I'll see you when I get down there. Hey guys, so continuing on my trip down to St. Catharines, Ontario to have my special guest here, Ash, and I should say really his guest because
you're my guest.
Yeah. But my guest on my video, I guess? I don't know how it works. Sure, it is what it is.
I'm currently the guest.
Yes.
In my videos, you'll be the guest.
But we're in your building because you invited me down.
Chicken and egg thing, I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. We had a good day. We got a game of Lord of the Rings in, a couple of games more time. So stay tuned to Ash's channel, Guerrilla Miniature Games, for those. We had a ton of fun with them. So if you don't mind, got a couple of questions for you. Yeah. Sure. So I know you've been around the scene for a while, but can you just go over sort of like your history and how long you've actually been involved with miniature and stuff? Yeah.
So I discovered wargaming in 1988.
Yep.
I was reading these like green-spined choose your own adventure books called Fighting Fantasy.
Okay.
And in the back of one was an advertisement for Citadel Miniatures. Okay. Those guys, Ian Livingston and Steve Jackson, are actually the founders of Games Workshop, the retail chain, which was the thing that existed before Citadel Miniatures and Games Workshop came together and became the company you kind of know now.
Yep.
And they were like basically flogging Citadel Miniatures for use in their little RPG that they wrote. Yep. So I had never seen a miniature before, and I saw some in a little used comic book store in Whitby, Ontario called The Book Between. So I bought some, and then my best friend when I was in Cub Scouts, when I was like 9 or 10, was this guy named Chris Kite. His older brother, James, had bajillions of miniatures in his room, and we would always like sneak in and look at them, and you know, like basically I started obsessing over them. Chris was never as interested in them as I was, thought they were super cool, and that was how I got into it. My first game was Epic Space Marine. I bought it because I thought it was a bunch of 28mm Space Marines, and I opened it and I was like, why are these guys
tiny
so small?
Things. Yeah.
And then from there on, I just off and on did like what most teenagers do. I discovered skateboarding and beer and girls, and lapsed in and out of the hobby, you know, but I still kept collecting and painting miniatures for years and years.
That's awesome.
And then in 2001, I started working for Games Workshop, and I worked for them until 2014.
Yep.
And if you are in Canada, you've probably met me at some point at Games Workshop store. If you go to Games Workshop stores. And then I started, when I came back to Canada, actually, I was in Memphis for 4 years, working with the GW retail chain. I started making videos. I worked for Mini Wargaming by accident almost. They were looking for someone to come in and play Infinity, and I came in and played Infinity, and then
just one thing led to the next.
3 weeks later, I was working there.
Yeah.
And then I worked there until April of this year, and then started making my own videos, and here we are now.
Yeah, and that's going well for you.
Yeah.
Like, almost anybody that watches on YouTube will know who this guy is. You know,
I don't know if that's true, but
I'm pretty. Anybody that watches this type of stuff, I'm assuming, you know, will have a general idea. But that's what I feel, at least. You got a ton of followers and subscribers, stuff like that. And so, how is everything running? You run the co-op St. Catharines, right? So, and then you also have your YouTube channel as well.
Yeah,
so how's that going for you?
The co-op is sort of they're not really one and the same thing.
Yeah.
The co-op is really just a shared artist space.
Okay.
So when I did the crowdfund to get a camera, in about 3 or 4 hours, I had like $7,000 or $8,000. But I only needed like $2,000 to buy the camera. So people asked me like, what are you going to do? And I had to take 24 hours and figure out what I was going to do. And that ended up being this co-op. So there's 2 other media producers. There's Mike from Epic Deck Studios, a fabulous painter, commission painter, and just artist that's in the area. And then Owen from Game with the Cooler, who is a fabulous just human being.
Met him today. He's hilarious.
He's like a competitive tournament player, probably one of the smartest like pick up a rule set and then be good at it right away, but then never be too lazy to master it. Miniature gamers I've ever met, and he's super talented. He films in here as well. And we just sort of share the space. So an artist co-op is like a shared working area where people can make the things they want to make. So Mike does miniatures, Owen does like gaming and gaming reviews and strategies and tactics and stuff. I do a mix of everything, so like both half and half. And this just provides us with a workspace to do it. So we all share the space. It's not really a company, it's more of a location. So this is the place where people come to be creative.
That's awesome.
But we all kind of have our own thing and do our own thing. And then Guerrilla Miniature Games, which is my channel, is just my tabletop channel about Guerrilla Miniature Games, which would be to say
anything and everything.
I think that what we focus on, or what I try and focus on, because it's not a we, it's a me, is either stuff that's overlooked, stuff that's underappreciated, and just to try and celebrate the hard work that a lot of people do in independently creating stuff for miniature games, and also just the great miniature games that are out there. Because in my opinion, all miniature games are fun. They're as fun as the people you play them with, and I happen to be lucky enough to have tons of great opponents because I've just been in the industry for so long. And I'd like sharing that with people. And people seem to like having it shared with them.
Yeah,
so
no, for sure.
Making it.
For sure. Where do you plan on being in the next few years then with miniatures?
Well, probably
do you have any other big ideas or anything? No?
This wasn't even my idea. I would say this was something that the people asked me to do, and I'm just doing because I have an opportunity in my life to do it. Because I don't know if most people know, but I'm a stay-at-home dad. Like that is my real job. Is looking after 2 kids who are under 2.
That's 100%.
So that's
a full-time job right there.
So really, all of what I do for Guerrilla Miniature Games, I do in about 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And I edit while I'm with my kids and at night and stuff like that. And so, right now, just this happening is kind of mind-blowingly humbling and amazing. So, I don't really have any big aspirations. If I could do more of something, it would just be to help people who are out there making their own products bring more stuff to market. Yeah. So I do a segment called Widgets and Wonders. And I do another segment called Out of the Basement, which is about indie games and small games. And I've managed to help a couple people become, in the last couple months, fairly successful. So that's, I think, the best feeling thing I can do. And I'd like to do more of that. And other than that, just to keep plugging away and keep this place going so that Mike and Owen can have a place to film their videos and do their stuff too.
That's awesome.
So that's really all my goal.
Yeah, no, that's great. You know, it's great for the community and stuff like that. We were actually talking about the community earlier today on our lunch break and stuff. Primarily, Lord of the Rings. We were really talking about and discussing. Obviously, it's one of my favorite systems out there, and so I'm hoping to continue to connect with Ash and do more Lord of the Rings stuff, whether it be videos for his channel or mine or vice versa, whatever. But he also has given me some hints and tips for possible future tournaments and people to get in contact and that. So stay tuned for more stuff from both of us. Make sure you subscribe and check out his YouTube channel, Guerrilla Miniature Games, and on Facebook as well. Like him on there. And thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming down.
And I'll see you again sometime soon.
See you guys. Have
Take care.